Hey, what's up, guys? This is MugenLord here, and I want to talk about Parasite Eve because there was some interesting news that was surrounding this series for the past week or so, and I just wanted to get into it here on this channel just in case you guys don't know what's going on. I would say it's a disappointment. You know, Square Enix always at it with their shenanigans. So before we dive into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it helps me here on this YouTube channel, and also hit that bell to be notified for more RPG and fighting game news here on this channel. So we're going to dive into it. So what's up with Parasite Eve? And I guess before we even dive into Parasite Eve and the drama that's surrounding it, if you're new to this channel or never even heard of Parasite Eve, it's pretty much Square Enix take on, I guess you would say, a survival horror game mixed with RPG elements. So it's pretty much like Resident Evil meets Final Fantasy in a sense. And this came out back in the 90s. And the sad part about it is I never bought Parasite Eve. I played it, but I never bought any of the first two games at all. And the more and more I think about it and reflect on it, I'm like, why? Like, what was I doing at this time? What other games that I was investing my time in to skip such a good series, such a great game, and missed out on it? And ever since that, they released a third Parasite Eve game, but due to, I guess you say, licensing issues or copyright issues, with the author of the book, because Parasite Eve is based after a novel, and because they couldn't didn't renew the license, the third game had nothing to do with the first two games, and it was on PSP, and many people didn't like that, and that pretty much killed the franchise after that. And now we fast forward today, we hear some news, or Square Enix had recently trademarked a name, Symbiogenesis. Now, if you guys don't know, symbiogenesis is a term that's been used in the, I would say, Parasite Eve franchises. And symbiogenesis means merging of two separate organisms to form a single new organism. So many fans, when this was reported by Kotaku, Polygon, about them trademarking this, it got fans super excited, and it got a lot of game journalists super excited as well, because we were hoping that we may get a potential either a remake of Parasite Eve or get a potential remaster that eventually could evolve into a remake or a follow-up or a sequel sometime down the line. So many people was really excited about it, especially content creators who cover a lot of Square Enix and Final Fantasy content here on this YouTube platform. And I sat back on it because I wanted to wait and see, because we really didn't know, because just because a company trademark their names or IPs, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get anything new from it, but it just makes sense for them to renew it so no other company can pretty much come in and take that name or anything of that sort. So right after that, the speculation started going around. Everybody started talking about it. And then suddenly Square Enix come out to pretty much just dismantle that. So we find out, and of course it's just Square Enix. I don't know why they're so obsessed with this, and it's this thing with Square Enix to where they do good things and you praise them for it, and then they turn around and they just do stupid things, and then you like, what's going on? It's just a weird relationship that Square Enix has with its fan base. Well, they come out and pretty much debunk anything regarding a potential remake or remaster of Parasite Eve. So we find out that in fact that it's not anything related to Parasite Eve. It's in fact an NFT. It's going to be their first NFT games. It's the first digital collectible art project designed from the ground up for Web3 fans. So in the article in Polygons, it says, described cynically as a brand new entertainment content, Symbiogenesis promises collectible digital art paired with an interactive story and a dedicated community. It's unclear how Square Enix could guarantee the latter, but that seems unimportant to the intended audience. In theory, Symbiogenesis art could be used for profile pictures on social media and as a character in a story that takes place in an alternate world where the character can untangle a mystery by completing missions that revolve around questions of the monopolization and distribution of resources. And I find this funny. This whole NFT thing, I don't understand where this craze came from. I never heard of NFTs until Mark Zuckerberg had made his Meta announcement about what, a year and a half ago, maybe, where he had the announcement where they changed the name from Facebook to Meta. And I own Oculus Quest 2, or the Meta Quest 2. I own it. I love the product. But the first time I heard about NFTs was when Mark Zuckerberg said that NFTs is going to be acceptable and be the main benefactor of this whole metaverse that he's trying to create. So I was like, what the hell is an NFT? And then out of nowhere, NFTs, I've been hit with NFT advertisements on Twitter out of nowhere, and it just became a really, really big thing. But once I started digging into what NFTs are, I think it's just a stupid idea, a stupid concept, and I don't know why Square Enix is doubling down on this and want to add this into games. I think NFTs benefits gaming at no point benefited. No point. Gamers don't want it, and people find it stupid, and yet Square Enix is dead set on doing this whole NFT things. And then the disrespect about it is they utilize the name Symbiogenesis to build up hype because they know that people want a Parasite Eve game, but instead they use Symbiogenesis as a way to push Web3 gaming. It just doesn't, it makes no sense. And the fact is that they're touting it as you can use the profiles, you know, that you collect from the NFTs and use them as profile pictures. It just doesn't make sense. I can just right click and just copy those pictures. You're not really getting anything. It's not benefiting the player whatsoever. But I digress. So they continue to say, if any aspects of this sound appealing enough to dump some spare crypto on, check back in spring 2023. So that's when Symbiogenesis, NFTs, and everything associated with the free browser service are set to launch. So, and what's crazy about it is we knew NFTs was coming because Square Enix said earlier this year that they was going to be doing some NFTs with the Final Fantasy brand as well. And it seems like as though, despite what fans saying that they don't want this, they going to double down and still give people this type of form of gaming. Like, I don't understand. It's like they're so out of touch with reality when it comes to NFTs. But the fact is that I had my hopes up for a potential Parasite Eve, and I even told my brothers that, yo, they trademarked Symbiogenesis. We could be possibly getting something related to Parasite Eve. And Keelancer already said out the door, nothing ain't happening. It's going to be nonsense. It's going to probably be something stupid. And Keelancer was right. He was definitely right about it. And everybody's salty. People feel like Square Enix is not listening to fans, and just feel like they just insulting the fans. Everything that's surrounding this, that they use Symbiogenesis to pretty much generate hype, just to find out that it's just some AI cloud blockchain type games that they're trying to really invest in. And NFTs still haven't really proven itself to be something that's lucrative and that actually works. And why is this a thing in gaming? Like this whole thing, that this notion called, play to earn. Like video games shouldn't be a job. You come to video games to escape reality, play games, and then on top of that, play your favorite games. And now they're trying to implement this whole play to earn thing. We already been hit with games as a service, microtransactions and loot boxes and everything, and now they're just trying to add more on top of this. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you, I am kind of salty. I am kind of disappointed because I do want to play Parasite Eve, and I know people say just get an emulator, this, that, and the third and stuff. No, I want to have a physical copy. I want to have a physical copy of the game. I would love a remaster of the game just to have it on modern hardware, so I don't have to go through other means just to play it. No, I want to have it in my hands, and that's how I feel about it. And it just seems as though that this is a missed opportunity. I mean, Square Enix had already been going in their back catalog with the Mana series. They bought that back. The Valkyrie series, they bought that back. So why not Parasite Eve? I think that'd be a perfect chance, especially down that survival horror, especially with Capcom and Resident Evil. They've been doing great with that. And then we have Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 14 has been successful. So why not have a survival horror role-playing game with storytelling of something similar to Final Fantasy, but mixed together with the survival horror genre of which you could find in Resident Evil or Silent Hill itself. I think it's a perfect time for Square Enix to capitalize on that, but we just want to wait and see. Maybe this is just also a test. I'm just being optimistic here, and I shouldn't be, pumping in copium into y'all veins. But hopefully this could be something, knowing that people really want it, could this push them to make a potential remaster or remake to Parasite Eve? So that pretty much wraps up this video. Let me know in the comment sections below what you think about this, with Square Enix with their nonsense and their shenanigans with NFTs, this whole NFT push, and the fact is that they use Symbiote Genesis, Parasite Eve, you know, branding or name as a way to really push this. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment sections below. It's always welcome here, and you guys has just been a blessing to me here on this YouTube channel. So let's see if we can just keep it pushing. Let's see if we can get to 13,000 or close to 13,000 by the end of the year. So that wraps it up. If you liked the video, hit the like button because it definitely helps me out here in the algorithm on YouTube. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you Game Fiends later. Peace out.